is a hot topic. A new law rolling back police reforms that put heightened restrictions on vehicle pursuits goes into effect tomorrow.
This is part of the latest step in a years-long debate over when a police pursuit is worth the risk. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us the push for police reform started with stories of the consequences when officers get it wrong.
It started with stories like of how a simple traffic stop by Kent police in 2017 turned deadly.
My tragic story started when my firstborn son, Giovanni, was profiled and pulled over in a traffic stop.
But it escalated into a vehicular pursuit and ended with an officer fatally shooting him.
Would he have lived if it was just a traffic stop? He complied and gave the officers his ID during that stop and then left. Running away was that the cause of his death?
Questions that prompted lawmakers in 2021 to pass heightened restrictions on police pursuits. Officers couldn't just suspect a crime, they had to have enough evidence to make an arrest. Only in cases of escapes or violent or sexual offenses. Only if the suspect posed an imminent threat to public safety, outweighing the risks of a pursuit. And only after going through a process with their supervisor.
So if someone steals your car and we have a description of the person and the car and we see it and it matches the plate, we can't chase them.
Then came more stories, the consequences of police not allowed to pursue.
The man who struck and killed my daughter from behind and left Kathleen for dead on the side of the road was driving a stolen truck and high on meth. He was involved in a robbery 2 weeks prior. The police had him as he was fleeing, but they couldn't pursue. If they could have, he most likely would have been in jail on January 15th of 2022. My daughter would be alive.
Those stories and pushback from law enforcement led lawmakers to roll back some of those changes in 2023, mostly limited to the same crimes, but the burden of proof and risk the suspect needed to pose lowered. Now, a citizens' initiative turned law that goes into effect Thursday will keep supervisory requirements for officers, but lift restrictions on the type of crimes they're allowed to engage in a pursuit over, giving them more freedom than they had before.
And we're saying, just let them do their job. They're trained. When they go through the police academy, the criminal justice training center, they train for you to make a decision to be able to say it's more dangerous to pursue or it's more dangerous to not pursue, and to protect the public and to still stop crime in our communities.
But individual agencies can still make their own rules. The Selah Police Department choosing to keep most restrictions in place.
We just believe that it's going to be safer for the community and for our people if we continue along those more restrictive lines.
But also invest in more spike strips to disable fleeing vehicles.
We feel like the spike strips are going to take care of that alternative to chasing somebody through town.
But whether police pursue or don't, there's always a risk. In Yakima, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.